has no emotion towards you. It doesn't love you and your neighbor any differently. So it just goes to the person who's able to manage the money well. As we say, Lakshmi is not going to be in your house. She'll go elsewhere, somebody who can look after her better. So you should want that money to be in your house. You should be able to look after that money, and you should be able to have that ability to want to grow that money. So a lot of the worry is because people don't think it through before they start investing, and they take a piecemeal approach, and they take a binary approach. It's this versus that. They don't look at this money decision as an ongoing series of events for your entire life. Like, this is that oil which runs through your entire life. But if we could just take a holistic view, a very long-term view about our money, and then invest that time at the top of that decision, front load the time today, then I have seen personally how worries actually go away. It's always a good idea to get your cash flows in order so that you know how much you can save and spend. So it's a very simple idea. You're just separating out your spending money from your saving money. Second is to build an emergency fund, which gives you that stability. So the other thing that I learned is that we don't want to put money down for long-term investing in the equity market specifically, is because we think that we may need the money for an emergency. What if I needed the money? It's a genuine concern. I am not at any point talking down this concern of people. It is, and they must have this concern. But if there is a concern, there is a financial solution to it, which is an emergency fund. Asset allocation is paramount, and it depends on your age and stage for your risk capacity, how much risk at your age and stage you should take, as opposed to your risk appetite, which could be very, very high. Asset allocation is also looking after your short, medium, long-term goals. It's not that you're creating different little pools everywhere, not creating 40 FTs. It is the bucket of short-term funds, medium-term, long-term, and it is the distance from today that determines your allocations. So these are decisions you must work through with your advisor, planner, and understand that what will work for your friend or neighbor or social peer may not work for you, because the two situations are different. And I love to give the food analogy here to say that your diet is particular to you and your set of either lifestyle diseases or weight goals or health goals. You cannot copy anybody else's diet. Similarly, it's a very personal decision, because it's based on your goals, your spending habits, and your the way that you want your future to look. Goal-based investing is a great idea because it takes your focus away from the return of my fund doing worse than your fund. Then you're focused on the goal and trying to meet it. So there is this expectation which is built probably on those years of government returns, which were very high, PPF, FTs. People sort of just look at the return number in isolation to the inflation number and say that, oh, my FD is giving 12, but inflation is doing 13. So you're getting a negative return. So the first thing really is to understand what is my return. And the second thing is to understand that your higher return will always come with higher risk. So I think investors need to understand and manage expectations and say that with my risk profile, with the amount of risk that I'm willing to take, this is the return that I can expect. When you do asset allocation decisions in a bull run, you will always overestimate your risk capacity, because 100% safe means lower return. There is no other way. So the nuclear family, the two spouses must absolutely plan it together. There have to be certain goals which are common, which need to be discussed, and spending patterns then also have to fall into line according to those goals. But I would also encourage people to get their parents into some kind of order in their financial lives, because at some point you will be responsible for them, and sometimes it's too late to undo the mistakes which you see in insurances and portfolios. So it's a good idea to do your planning and then encourage your parents and parents-in-law and whoever else in the extended family to also clean up their portfolios.